This is Out Loud and Laughing.
In today's episode, 1996, the year of dial-up, chunky sneakers, and Bryan and Jon perched at their childhood desk, probably obsessing over who sat next to them in class, all while a little part of their hearts wondered if that other kid in class was, feeling things too. Little did they know, they were on the cusp of a wild ride, and if they could send a dispatch back in time, a cosmic letter from the queer future, if you will, it would be this, a joint effort from them to their younger, closeted selves whispering, "It gets better."
A letter from Jon to his 12-year-old self. Hey you, I know exactly where you're sitting. Back row, far left. Close enough to the window to dream, far enough from the front row to stay unseen. You've made quiet art of hiding in plain sight. Doodling in the margins again, aren't you? Cartoon sketches and song lyrics. Little worlds built from the scraps no one else sees. You're not ignoring the lessons, you're surviving. Your imagination is louder than the classroom, but no one's given you the words for it. I see you, and I need you to hear this. You've already got everything you need to make it, even if it doesn't feel that way now, even if your voice feels too small, your body too big, your spirit too different. You're carrying so much, being gay and hiding it, being Cuban and never seeing it reflected back, being first generation and afraid to fall short of someone else's dream. You're a boy trying to fold himself into the narrow lines of a world that wasn't built with him in mind. But even in the back row, the light finds you. The truth is, you won't stay back there forever. You'll move rows, slowly, awkwardly. You'll fumble forward and then retreat again. But each step, even the wrong ones, will be part of the choreography. You'll meet mentors and soul friends who will help you stand taller. You'll lose people too. You'll break bones, break hearts, break down entirely. But you'll also discover that broken isn't the opposite of whole. It's just another beginning. Your family, though far from perfect, will love you in ways that matter. They won't always understand, but they will show up. Your parents will do the best they can with what they know, stretching love across generational and cultural gaps. Later, you'll thank them for their sacrifices. And you'll begin to see that being raised by people who are still learning to raise themselves was a gift wrapped in chaos. You'll also gain a second set of parents, your aunt and uncle who will never stop showing up. Your cousins and your sister will become more than your siblings and mirror back your best selves. And together, you'll redefine what it means to be a tribe. And when the time comes, you'll come out. First to yourself, and then to the world. You'll think it's a one-time event, like a light switch, but it's more like a sunrise, gradual and ever unfolding. You'll learn that you owe no one an explanation for who you are, not strangers, not coworkers, not even family. This secret you once carried like a weight will become your set of wings. What once brought shame will become a superpower. And from that power, peace. Until the next storm hits. Because yes, storms will come. They'll try to push you back to the margins, back to that rear row where you once hid. But by then, you'll know. You don't belong back there anymore. You'll go to college and start to glimpse your own becoming. Then to Chicago, brief but pivotal, and then to San Francisco, where you'll see people loving freely and fully and out loud. It will shake you, then shape you. And there, you'll begin to understand what authenticity really looks like. And you'll chase love with an open heart and a hungry spirit. You'll fall hard. You'll think you've found forever in a 5.5-year relationship, but forever will fail you. The breakup will undo you, but it will also rebuild you. You'll learn to trust your gut and to speak your truth and leave when your spirit knows it's time. Through that breakup, you'll find the version of yourself you've been waiting for, the boy who learned how to love himself. Not despite the mess, but because. You'll stop performing and start living. You'll shed substances that dulled your shine. You'll get sober, quit tobacco, lose weight, gain presence, and what started off as a best self by 40 campaign will quietly become your best life. You'll realize the real transformation isn't in the mirror. It's in how you carry your story. You'll chase your dreams and work in design, lending beauty to brands and meaning to messages, but you'll always come back to advocacy, to giving voice to the ones still in the back row, the misfits, the queer kids, the quiet rebels with too much soul for the spaces they're in. You'll collect a chosen family along the way, people like Christina, who's been there since 4th grade, Meredith and Stacy, Katie and Amy, who will hold your heart through decades of laughter and loss. These women will teach you what unconditional love looks like and what boundaries feel like. And then there's Brody, your little French bulldog, your shadow, your joy, your teacher. You'll call him your best friend and you'll mean it. He'll sit with you through everything. Breakups, breakthroughs, quiet Sunday mornings. And when he leaves you in April of 2025, it'll tear you open again. But this time, you'll know what to do with the grief, because loving him taught you how. And yes, you'll keep moving, new cities, new love, new you, but you'll always carry the boy in the back row with you. He never really leaves, he just learns to stand taller. And one day, you'll write him this letter, because he deserves to know how it ends. He deserves to know that his imagination was a gift, not a flaw. That his softness became strength. That the world he used to dream about outside the window, he lived it. And maybe most importantly, he didn't just make it out of the back row. He built something beautiful in the front.
Good job. How do you feel? Did you picture yourself talking to the 12-year-old self, or did you picture you as the 12-year-old hearing it?
I pictured myself as a 12-year-old hearing it. That's
Yep.
a great question.
Well, it was kind of, like you're
It's
the
a yin and a-
authority
yeah.
talking to the one, or you're the one listening,
I feel like I'm exercising authority. Like that's how I wrote it,
Mhm.
because you don't get to places in your life and not honor them, and that's where I'm at. And so that's sort of the place I took it from. And I've always had, like, a long time, I wrote this manifesto for myself, and I just remembered this one little line that just said, "This is for the kid in the back row," because I sort of, like grew up feeling that way. And so I just wanted to, like, weave that metaphor through,
Yeah.
because there's so many people out there who sort of, like, maybe feel unseen or feel that way or maybe identify that way, but it was just a feeling I had and I wanted to transcribe it.
I love it. Because
Yeah.
12-year-old, we were like 6th, 7th grade.
Really a really hard time for a lot of people. School, a lot of hormones. So I'm like, I celebrate with the little boy. Thought that life would turn out differently, but we're really happy about it.
Therapeutic.
very
I love
fun.
it. Mine's just like a little bit, it's the same thing. I think I envisioned, I wrote it, my 12-year-old self listening to me say it. Like I'm the 12-year-old, not, I'm not the adult reading this right now.
All right,
Do you want to hear it?
Let's read it to the 12-year-old.
Let's read it to the 12-year-old. Well, let's be the 12-year-old listening.
Let's be the
to me
12-year-old
reading it.
listening. You're right.
That's so meta.
Oh my God, my mind just went ping pong.
Auditioning
You are auditioning
for the 12-year-old.
Mm.
Okay, I'll do mine now. Dearest 12-year-old me, it's me, your fabulous future self, writing from a time where phones are smart and you finally met Tiffany Amber Thiessen. Right now, you're a whirlwind of feelings, all tangled up like cords behind Dad's stereo. You're in the closet, a little lost, and trying to figure out why your heart does that flip-flop thing around certain people. Honey, it's okay. It's more than okay to cry, to feel everything bubbling up inside you. These feelings are yours and they're valid, even if they feel a little foreign language to you right now. My biggest piece of advice, darling, is to trust. Not everyone, of course, because you're still figuring out who your real friends are in life versus the occasional acquaintance that's just passing through. But those closest to you, lean into them. The next 8 years, middle school, high school, from the hormonal jungle to the questionable fashion choices in college, you won't always walk in the park and it'd be easy, but with your people by your side, it's gonna be so much better. Now, on a lighter note, let's talk about the pop music obsession. I know, Britney Spears is everything right now to you. And bless your heart, your future self appreciates the whole Give Me More era. But 2 whole walls covered with her posters and a cardboard cutout in college, maybe just tone it down a smidge. Think of the prime real estate for other equally fabulous pop stars. And speaking of self-improvement, how about we channel some of that youthful energy, Bryan? Dare I say into a sport or the gym? Imagine a 6-pack. We'll call it proactive investment later in life, who will thank you profusely. And while you're at it, with that allowance you're hoarding in your drawer under your bed, do yourself a favor and buy Apple stock. Maybe some Google stock too. Seriously, you'll thank me later when you're sipping lattes in your penthouse paid for by your genius 12-year-old self. But back to the serious stuff, because let's face it, life isn't all about pop stars and stock portfolios, though it probably should be. Right now, the world feels impossible, big, and your place in it feels utterly unknown. But here's the secret, my dear. You are not going to conquer it alone. You are going to conquer it with people. You're going to take it on one step at a time, and you're going to do so much good in this world. The biggest question hanging over your head right now is your sexuality. And while that's huge, daunting, it's just one facet of the incredible person you are. You have so much more to offer, so many talents to share, so much love to give. Work your ass off to get there, because you absolutely will. And let's talk about friendships. They matter more than you can possibly imagine. And who you let in your inner circle matters even more. Just because someone feels like a friend in the short term, it's okay to let them go, even if they're not serving your highest self. Middle school is going to be tough, and you're going to be feeling incredibly alone at times because a lot of people won't get you. But no, you'll always have people in your corner, like an Ashley or an Amy. Always, especially people like your cousin John. Hold on to him. Now, high school. Yeah, it's going to be hard. It might even be harder in different ways. You're still figuring out who you are, but you're going to start to build a network, and it's going to be incredibly powerful. Lean into that. And here's the big one, something that will echo throughout your life. Many people will tell you that you can't do things. Don't listen to them. From that high school teacher who said you can't get into the University of Florida, to others who will doubt you along the way, use it as fuel. Lean into every rejection and turn it into a positive force. That positive force will serve incredibly well as you get older. Don't let anything keep you from getting what you want or what you need. Keep striving, always. And make sure that you keep the friends that you make along the way. Your Dina, your Tatiana, your Sarah, every person you connect with will help you shape your path and get there. Now, let's talk about mom and dad for a moment. You know how much they love you, and they're doing their best with what they understand about the world right now. It's 1996. The conversation around our community is different. They're seeing a lot of scary things in the news, like the AIDS epidemic, and that's creating a lot of fear and uncertainty. It has to be hard for them to wrap their head around how potentially their child could be a part of that community that seems so misunderstood and even dangerous in many eyes of. So here's my advice. Be patient with them. You won't be able to say much right now, and that's okay. Understand that their reaction and their caution come from a place of love and a desire to keep you safe. They're processing a lot, and it'll take a time for them to understand. Just know that eventually they'll come around, and their love for you will always be the strongest force. And it won't be easy, but their concern stems from a genuine place of wanting you to be happy and healthy. I know you're desperate to find your identity in the LGBTQ space, and it's beautiful, vital part of who you are. But you're not ready yet, and that's perfectly okay. Don't force yourself out of the closet. Take your time to truly know yourself first. And when you do come out, seek out a community that will support you and help you grow into your majestic self. Finally, this is the big one. Lean into love. You're going to have so many crushes, some fleeting, some that will feel like your entire world. Some will turn out to be nothing, and some will turn out to be your everything. Embrace all of it. Embrace the infatuation, the butterflies, the awkward first dates, and yes, the heartaches. Because if you don't, you truly won't understand what love is, how gloriously complicated it can be, and how incredibly worth it it is. And here's a little peek into your future, Bryan, just for you. Because I know you've always dreamed big. You will absolutely be married with a husband. And you'll have 2 beautiful kids. Your dream will finally come true, and it will be everything you imagined and more. So, 12-year-old me, buckle up. Gonna be a ride filled with laughter, tears, questionable fashion choices, and moments that will shape you into the amazing person you're destined to become. You've got this.
Oh, you really got me there. How did you feel writing that for yourself?
I wish I bought Apple stock.
Loved that part. Yeah. The parts about establishing a better financial future, like before you're actually asked to
It's so me.
sign student loans and stuff. Yeah, no, I've got college paid for already. Come on, cash.
Yeah.
But that's smart to like invest early. I wish we would have done that.
I probably should have thrown crypto in there.
Maybe crypto would have been good in there. You know, it's funny that you just mentioned like things that maybe like you feel like I things that I feel like I missed about mine, and I
Mm,
wonder if you feel have the same feeling. Like you just said, you wish you would have thrown crypto in there. Like there were some things in yours that I wish I would have thrown in mine.
okay.
Do you feel like that? Like were there things about like that vice versa? I feel like our lives have like crisscrossed so much. Like there was a part like you mentioned Sarah, for example. How can I forget Sarah?
You did.
Like I didn't actually. I knew you were going to mention. I just didn't want to give her two at mentions because you can't tag somebody twice on Instagram, Brian. Just kidding.
No, I think you went
Sarah,
on a
I love.
you went on a journey around the cities you've been to and learnings from those cities, and I didn't really do that. And I thought that was interesting because it also would give my 12-year-old self hope that I was getting out of Florida,
Hmm.
which I thought was actually really powerful.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I think that was probably one of the bigger things out of your note that I really didn't touch upon. But I feel like what's interesting is we're so similar that me reading your letter, if you read your letter to me as my 12-year-old, I would have learned stuff from it as well. Right? Like minus some of the nuances, like the journey with my parents.
Hmm.
It's the same journey with your parents. The
Hmm.
journey to leave Florida and just have that bug in your stomach to be like, I don't belong here kind
Yeah.
of thing. When we were like in college, it was like I need
Hmm.
something, I need to see what else is out there. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's what I'm realizing in what you just said. Is the profound differences about the letters outside of
Mm,
some of the things that are so similar. I think that the profound differences are exactly what differentiate us, sort of like how we talk to our audience, right? Like you are a married dad of two. Your life sort of took you in one direction, mine took me in another. I sort of been challenged with addiction and substance abuse, and I've learned a lot of those. I had to take time out of my life
mm-hmm.
to experience that and then also to rectify it, right? And so like I'm on the other side now where I am today, because of it and thankful for it, but like it doesn't have me married with children right now. And so it's just like so beautiful to sort of hear these similar letters to 12-year-old selves of
Mm-hmm.
ours, and for the just the profound differences and the different lessons that you and I each have independently learned along.
Yeah. And then also during Pride Month, right? It's an interesting time to just, which people not in our community constantly get it wrong that they think Pride Month is just our obnoxious way to just get in people's faces. And a lot of it is just to truly just self reflect, take a step back, and say, this is my month to feel prideful, out, happy, and not scared. Because as you read in our letters, it was hard. And people don't realize the struggles we had to go through. And so give us a moment to like just be okay with it and like go through that journey in our minds?
Yes, and something that I heard sort of at the onset of Pride this year, that I really resonated with and I could really relate to is that, well, there was that Pride is a parade. It's not just a parade; it's a protest.
Hmm.
Like, yes, it's a celebration of all of the steps that we've taken forward, and it's a in memory of all the people who have sort of put their lives before us, in advocacy, of course. But there's more work to be done. It's why we show up every year. It's why, because we will not. This will go on, and I know that a lot of people in our audience identify like we all will go
Yeah.
on this journey together. This is all of our journeys. And so curious as to what, anybody out there listening, gay, straight, or however you identify, on that beautiful spectrum of a rainbow. What's some things you would tell your 12-year-old selves? I'd
Yeah.
love to know. Please let us know.
I would say that everyone should do this activity because I thought it was so therapeutic to just obviously we can never go back in time and tell our 12-year-old self to do things like buy crypto. But
Really hung up.
but seriously, very hung up on not being rich. But I think it's also just important to just take a step back to realize what I could have said to myself to make it somewhat easier. And obviously it's not because you can't go back in time and we are who we are today because of it. And we're probably as strong as we are today because we went through those struggles. But just the idea of being able to write something to our 12-year-old self just to make it somewhat easier is what pride means to me. So I think during this month, like just be kind to your neighbor, accept each other, and just understand that this month is about celebration. And at face value, it feels quote unquote like a party. And we're having a good time. There's a lot of things rooted in that And I feel like our 12-year-old letters to ourselves hopefully showed a little bit around how Jon and I are thinking about who we are, where we've come from, and where we want to go. So thank you guys for listening. We are excited for this month because we're just doing a lot of things with pride.
Yeah, keep listening. I'm happy you guys are following our journey.
So for this episode, we are just out loud.